And tonight, we are also tracking a major outbreak in Sacramento County jails. We first told you about this outbreak last night at 11, and now Sacramento County officials are announcing an emergency release of more than 200 inmates.
And some of those releases have already started tonight. ABC 10's Van Tu is live in the newsroom with more information. Van.
COVID-19 cases in Sacramento jails have jumped six-fold in a week. Now more than 200 low offender inmates are getting out early after the sheriff's office said they needed more space to be COVID safe.
Isaac Mendoza is one of more than 200 sentenced inmates being released from Sacramento County Jail up to 90 days early after the highly contagious Omicron variant spread through the crowded jail system, logging 160 cases in its two facilities.
It was crazy. It was scary.
Officials say inmates that cannot be released include those with charges of domestic violence, DUI, serious and violent felonies, and sex offenders. Those with bad behavior, serial offenses, mandatory in-custody sentences, and domestic violence restraining orders will not be eligible.
We're looking at their history in totality. Obviously, we don't have a crystal ball to see what somebody might do, but we are trying to look at and minimize any problem that there might be after the release.
But last September, when Land Park resident Mary Kate Tibbetts and her dogs were gruesomely killed and their home set ablaze, loved ones and neighbors were outraged when they learned the suspect arrested was a parolee with a violent record who had gotten out of jail without bail.
The thing that happened to Katie Tibbetts, it should never happen in any of our neighborhoods.
That was Christina Rogers, vice president of the Land Park Community Association. She says the risk is too great and that Omicron is also surging outside jail walls and believes inmates should shelter in place and follow health protocols.
Number one concern should be public safety, not criminal safety.
Sheriff officials blame the pandemic, saying they have roughly 400 more inmates in their care than normal, as the courts face a backlog and state prisons and hospitals have stopped transfers as cases increase.
If those 400 people were in the care of the facility where they should be, we would not have to do any releases. This is about having to create quarantine areas.
For Mendoza, who was sentenced after leading police on a high-speed chase, he says he's grateful for a second chance 2 months early.
Not all of us are bad people, we just up sometimes, but I learned my lesson. I'm not trying to come back here. It was horrible.
Certainly a lot of passionate viewpoints on this issue. Now, the process to release the eligible inmates, officials say, will take a few days. Correctional health officials, meanwhile, say they are working to identify the source of the outbreak and are conducting widespread testing, and even offering cash incentives for some inmates to get the vaccine.